A very good evening to you. Thanks for joining us on the Tuesday edition of the show. From the city of Lagos, I'm Yemi Adebayo.
Always a delight to have you join us to talk sports in London. I'm Austin Okorakpan.
All right, a lot to talk about on the show tonight, as always. A lot of this happening in the world of sports, fast-paced, money-spinning world of sport, as we call it. As we speak, UEFA Champions League getting all stoking. Manchester United started well under Michael Carrick. We talk about that as we move on. Of course, there's going to be a slice of boxing on the show. I won't let the cat out of the bag just yet. We have something special lined up. Some boxers of Nigerian descent doing great things in the United Kingdom. We'll talk about it as we move on the show. And of course, we'll talk about the UEFA Champions League. We'll also talk about basketball on the show tonight.
There is so much going down in our world of sports. Yes, you talk about the UEFA Champions League. That's when we get us talking big time on the show tonight. We'll also take a look at international boxing, particularly from the British point of view. We've got loads of talented Nigerian boxers with Nigerian descent, as you mentioned. And last week, Saturday, they were on the menu, giving us some fantastic boxing. A new British, light heavyweight champion is of Nigerian heritage. There's also Mikel Lawal, who is a fantastic contender in the cruiserweight division. He's of Nigerian heritage. We had Richard Ripo on the show this morning, proudly, Delta, and he said it that, look, he's representing the Robo people, So it was a good one, to witness that boxing. And we'll talk about it on the show tonight, just so we can let persons back home understand that we need to start building from home. That's where we need to get the foundation so that these guys can bring their expertise, just like Kamaru Usman mentioned to us last week, and then we'll get a holistic development.
Yeah, hopefully that will be the case. All right, let me quickly introduce our guest from the Lagos studio before we get on with the rest of the things. Ben Efe joins us tonight. Ben, greetings to you. Thanks for finding out time to be with us on the show.
Very good evening, and it's my first time of coming here in the evening time, and it's very good to be here.
All right. Yeah. Apparently, that's going to be my first time with you on the night show as well. All right. But today you're here because we want to talk about marathon, half marathon, long distance races, and the improvements we're beginning to see in the culture of marathon in Nigeria. We're speaking ahead of the Warri Effurun marathon race. But before we get to that, what are the things that you've seen that has given you hope that Nigerians are beginning to take to middle and long distance races?
Oh, well, first of all, you have the competitions there now on the ground. When you go around Nigeria, Lagos, Abeokuta, Warri, like we're having this weekend, Ibadan, Calabar, you have road races
recently
everywhere.
Abeokuta.
Exactly. Abeokuta was last week. So you have road races everywhere, almost in Nigeria, and it's a good thing for all the runners. And it's a bonus for them, but that's not it. We are looking for performances. We are looking for people who are going to give us world standard times.
Rival the East Africans.
Exactly. So, in fact, that's why at the Effurun Marathon, they've looked at it, they said, look, this is just going to be the last time we're doing a 10-kilometer race. Next year it's going to be 21 kilometers because they want to challenge the Nigerian runners to bring the very best out of them. Don't just come and be running to make money. Go and develop yourself and earn more money. You can go abroad and run with the Ethiopians, the Kenyans, and earn more than $100,000, and that's big money for you. So it's a good thing we're having the races all over Nigeria.
All right. Austin will join in as we go on, but let me ask you this before. I'm very sure Austin has a thing or two to ask you about this as well. From next year, the distance is going to be longer. But for this year, what are some of the things that are different that the organizers are looking at?
Actually, we wanted to do the 21-kilometer race this year, but because of the COVID disruptions here and there, so that's why they say, okay, let's stick to the 10-kilometer race.
So we can observe.
Yes, and again, they also increased the prize money. Before it was just like 200,000, but now it's 1 million.
Okay.
No.
The I mean, Nigerians seem to do well in all of those, you know, races that the foreigners are not, you know. So when we now we increase the length, do you think Nigerians will do well when these other East Africans come?
It's a challenge for them, like I said earlier on. You know, because all around the world, you always have 41 kilometer run, 21 kilometer run. It's only in Nigeria I see that we'll be doing 10 kilometer races. So by the time you have more tougher challenge, apart from the Lagos Marathon, which is 41 kilometers, and you can just see what our athletes are doing. They don't even come in the top 10 of the elites, world elite. So this is just to build them up, build more strength, and build more endurance. And that's now, it's a challenge to all the local coaches as well. It's not just bringing athletes to earn the prize money, go home, share the money. You have to go back and start building up programs that you can develop to make sure that your athletes, they come up with world standard performances.
All right, so let me bring in Austin. I'm very sure he's listening with keen attention to what Ben Ife has been saying as well. So, Austin, the floor is yours. We're talking about marathon, the case in point, Warri Effurun marathon coming up in a few daars' time.
Yeah, Ben, it's good to have you on the show.
Yeah,
and you know, for
nice
me,
you.
The word peace, you know, goes a long way. And sport for peace and development has been used as a tool to, you know, build communities together. So let's look beyond competing and winning, because we know these East Africans will come and then they will dominate for the host community. What are the benefits of hosting this sort of marathon?
Well, like I said earlier on, it is for the development of our local athletes. And of course, number two, when we're talking about the Warri Effurun Peace Marathon, the whole idea was to bring communities together in the Niger Delta. But when we did the first edition, you had athletes from all over Nigeria get crashing into it. That was why it has now been extended to everyone to participate. Like I said, it was meant to bring together communities so that everybody will have a good and cordial relationship with each other, avoid violence, live together in peace and harmony. You know, in the Niger Delta, a whole lot of people have been at loggerheads with each other, but now with this marathon, people have something to do for themselves. They look forward to the marathon to participate in. Apart from that, they also come out for keep fit. In fact, on Saturday, a whole lot of people will come out in Warri and enjoy the race and feel good about it.
Yeah, Ben, you know, COVID-19 came with, you know, loads of lessons. You know, first this marathon to go on a break. I'm glad it's coming back now.
Yes.
What are the things that we'll do differently, knowing that there's still COVID and then persons expecting some level of improvement? Because I mean, we were on a break and now it's coming back.
Of course, the race will be conducted with COVID-19 protocols in mind. Like all the water points, the runners will go and pick the water themselves. They don't have to get into contact with anybody giving them anything. So there are so many other things, you know, that are on ground to prevent people from contracting any disease, not just COVID-19.
Okay, that's good to hear. Let me throw in one more, and we'll keep you on. We'll go into some other discussions. Then we'll still come back to the marathon and maybe athletics in Nigeria. But let me throw this in quickly. I read some of the write-ups that you've written recently, and there are one or two Nigerians that are doing well and leading lights in this kind of races. And do you think we need to start investing in those guys if we want to match up with the East Africans?
Of course. You know, when you look at the history of some of our athletes, I can mention a few names like Naomi, you know, I can't remember the surname now. One of the ladies who was doing long distance, but now she's gotten married. That lady started running at just 13. You know, if we were a serious country, we would have invested in that young lady, and indeed so many of them too. By now, we'll be having like 3 of them, you know, doing world standard performances, but we don't seem to be putting an eye on the long distance races, and not just the long distance races, even the sprints, where we have a stronghold before. You can see that the Kenyans are coming in. The South African, it was the South African, Kenya is now holding the 100-meter record. So we are just sitting down here, not investing in the sports, you know, just hoping that 1 or 2 athletes will spring up, and then we'll start celebrating them. It's not like that.
All right, I agree with you. Unfortunately, we'll have to leave it there for today. Ben, it was nice having you with us today. Doing this was fun. Hopefully, we'll do this some other time.
It was a pleasure.
All right. Let me just quickly go to Austin. Austin has some special guests lined up. We're going to have a conversation together. But, of course, let me pass the baton to Austin right about now, and we go straight into boxing.
Ben Graves right here in London with me. I will be taking a look at international boxing from the UK perspective, because, as I said at the start of the show, we've got loads of Nigerian talents in the United Kingdom, and they're beginning to show, you know, prospects of becoming, you know, world champions. Ben Gray is a boxing promoter. He's been supporting and promoting Nigerian boxers with Nigerian heritage right here in the UK and all over the world. Ben, it's good to have you on Sports Tonight.
It's great to be here, Austin. Thank you.
Awesome. Ben, I was with you right there at the SSE Arena at Wembley, and I saw you were in awe at the sort of talent you saw. How blessed is Nigeria when you take a look at the talents that the country Nigeria has produced and where they're going in terms of world boxing?
Nigeria is blessed with absolutely amazing boxing talent. As I always say, I believe Nigeria can rule the world. We witnessed 3 Nigerian winners on the show, the Sky and Boxer show on Saturday night, and it was a wonderful show held in, obviously, Wembley Arena. These sort of glories should be shared with Nigeria as well.
Awesome. Let's begin with Dan Aziz, you know, light heavyweight British champion. I remember Dan Aziz and how he started. Has it been nothing but progression for Dan Aziz?
Yeah, well, Dan came up the hard way. He's had no favours from anyone, but he's fought his way. He was Southern Area champion, English champion, and now he's British champion. And a lot of people made him, it was only a 50-50 fight, this fight. I thought he was going to do it, but a lot of people in the trade thought that Hosea Burton was going to beat him. So when we watched it on Saturday night, he absolutely dominated. Brilliant jab, real ring generalship. It was the performance of his career. But I think he's got more to give.
Awesome. Let's talk about Richard now. Richard Riper, we saw him go against Olariwaju Durodola, who is fully Nigerian. And it was easy work for Richard. Now, Richard is in a good position. He's a mandatory challenger for the Canelo Ilunga fight. So, the cruiserweight division is looking good. What are your expectations for Richard?
I think Richard probably will have another fight. Obviously, the Canelo fight has to happen first and see how that pans out. Richard's really progressed as well under his new trainer, Angel Fernandez, who's one of the very good trainers in Britain. Actually works with Anthony Joshua as well, as you may recall. So these guys are working really, really well together. It was a great left hook that started the trouble with Durodola. He was working behind a good jab. And again, I think he's progressing really, really nicely.
Awesome.
It's coming, Yemi from Lagos. It's always good when I hear you talk about Nigerian boxers. Some of us are not even as passionate as you are about some of these guys, and it's good you're making us know that these guys are there. I know you're there, we're here, but why do you think we don't have, some boxers from here going, all the way? What do you think might be the problem?
Well, it's the support. I always say that if you level the playing field, the Nigerian talent will take over. Unfortunately, it's not a level playing field. However, we're speaking with the Nigerian High Commissioner here in the UK, who is very, very keen on broadening Nigerians' footprint in boxing, because he realises it's a great vehicle to communicate how good Nigeria sports actually can be. As I always say, you can rule the world in boxing, which is an international sport. You just need a bit of help from the people in Nigeria.
Okay, so I know you've been called a few Nigerian names, but what do you think makes Nigerian boxers so special? Everywhere we're littered with, not just boxing, combat sports all over. Nigerians tend to do well, and sometimes, even without the support that we've talked about, that would take them to the next level. Even for some of us, we're just surprised. You just reeled out 3 names a lot of people didn't even see coming of Nigerian descent. We even had a case where 2 people fighting each other, and we could trace their roots back to Nigeria. Why do you think we have such abundance of talent here in this part of the world?
Well, I think the West African body type is well known for speed and power. If you throw a quadrangle into anywhere in Lagos, you're going to come up with some phenomenal sports people. And I think that the hunger that Nigerian people have, and the fight, the fact that you need to have a lot of hunger to be a good fighter, that probably helps as well. But you're definitely blessed with Naja power. That's the KO equalizer that Anthony Joshua possesses, and Deontay Wilder possesses, and Mikel, and all the guys we've talked about this evening. They've all got KO power, and that's what you need to win fights.
Ben, let's talk about Mikel Lawal. That's another exciting contender in the cruiserweight category. He's also got an interesting story. Watched him last week Saturday at the Wembley Stadium, and I said to myself that this guy can cause problems in that division. Do you agree?
Absolutely. The way he finished that fight with that overhand right just ended it there and then. And he was actually probably going through the motions somewhat, and perhaps ended it early. I know he said that his corner was telling him to end it earlier. He was nice and relaxed in there. He gave the fans something special, and yeah, he's got a lot of potential, and we'll see big things from him.
Also, I must admit it was an exciting show of boxing. The Boxer Show, Ben. How important is it for us to have this sort of shows, particularly in creating those sort of shows for boxers in Africa to keep them going?
Absolutely. Well, I think Sky and Boxer have done a great job in promoting British Nigerian fighters, and who knows, there might be opportunities for them to look further afield and tap into that talent pool that exists in Nigeria. Nigeria really should be supporting their boxers in a greater way. It's really good sport in terms of just getting kids off the street. There's a huge amount of social benefit from boxing. So it's not just about being world champions, it's also about keeping fit and giving kids something to put their energies into.
Awesome. But let's identify the problems before we start getting into the solution. You've been working with Nigerian boxers. You've come to Nigeria. We even christened you Bolu, and you try to bring Larry Kundayo to come have a fight back home. What are the problems? What are these challenges that are not making us achieve the sort of development that we should be achieving, particularly that we've got the talent?
It's a lack of support from the top down, unfortunately. And, I hate to say it, but that really is the truth. And it seems to me that Nigerian people in a position of power only want to celebrate someone once they've won something. They don't want to invest into their talent before they've won something. And that's really the difference. So Anthony Joshua, he was involved. Unfortunately, he got himself into a bit of trouble over in the UK. And rather than turning his back on him, they doubled down and made sure that he got back into the gym and worked harder. And it's that investment at that stage of people's careers that will deliver champions down the line. You can't just celebrate someone once they've won, but by then the hard work's been done. Nigeria needs to invest into its talent right now, and it will see champions of its own in the very near future.
All right, I'll keep you right there, Ben. We'll come back to Sports Tonight on your award-winning Sports Loving Channels Television. We're talking to Ben Gray. We're talking international boxing. I see loads of talent in the United Kingdom. How can we take this development back home? That's what we'll talk about when we come back from this break. So don't go anywhere. Stay. Welcome back to Sports Tonight on Channels Television. You can be part of the show. We're taking a look at developing boxing in Nigeria, and we're using the perspective of what's going on in the United Kingdom, where we've got loads of boxers with Nigerian heritage doing so well. So we want to see ways that we can learn from what they're doing here, take back home, because these boxers, they associate with the brand Nigeria. Anthony Joshua, Richard, Dan Aziz, Michael Lawal, loads of them right here, not just in the United Kingdom, also in the United States of America. Boxing in Nigeria is still struggling. So I've got Ben Gray, who is a boxing promoter. It's not just a boxing promoter, he's one who loves Nigeria. He's right here in the United Kingdom with me, London to be precise. Ben, let's still go back to that boxer show. Michael Lawal is in good position now to compete for the British title. With what you've seen of the guy, does he have a chance?
Absolutely. He's a very, very competent boxer. I saw him several years ago, and I was very impressed with him then. And he's progressed. He's got a good team around him, very good trainer. His name's Ali, and yeah, he's ready to fight for the British title. I believe that will be the next fight that he gets, and I will be backing him 100%. So
Richard, it's a huge contender for the title in the cruiserweight division. Also, he was on our morning show Sports this morning, and right there he told everyone that, look, I'm proud of Nigerian. He says he's from Delta State, he's Urobo. So each time you saw the way Michael Lawal related with me at the boxer show, it tells us that they love Nigeria and they want to do things back home. Ben, you're a promoter. What are some of the things we can take from these guys who love their country so well and take back home so that we can develop boxing?
Well, it's funny you asked, Austin, because an investment group has spoken to me about working with Nigeria. Obviously, we want to work with the Sports Ministry, with the High Commission here in the UK, and so plans are afoot to establish a route for boxing between Nigeria and the UK, and a combination of taking some of our knowledge back and helping develop Nigerian boxers, because with 200 million people there, you've got the talent there to dominate the world of boxing and fighting martial arts and UFC, across the fighting arts.
I love it. I must say thank you so much, Ben Gray, for your time. Because you love Nigeria, we love you so much right back. Thank you, Ben.
Thank you.
So that's it, Ben Gray, boxing promoter right here in the United Kingdom. Ben loves Nigeria so much, and he believes you need to hear him talk about boxing in Nigeria. He does it with a passion and admirable admiration, and so that's why whenever I've got a chance to talk to Ben Gray, I bring him out here to let persons know that if we can get someone as Ben Gray showing so much love, passion to develop boxing in Nigeria Boxing Federation, what are you guys doing? What are we doing? Because boxing in Nigeria is slipping. And Yemi, when I remember back in the day, even before independence, Nigeria produced world champions in boxing. I feel like crying because we have the talent. They're doing well abroad. Why are we struggling back home?
I mean, it's a question everybody has been trying to answer. I mean, and you don't even have to go way back. Even while growing up and watching the Olympics, you will always see Nigerians get into medal zones.
Right.
David Izorite and some of the other guys that we grew up watching, having, you know, just like Ben said, having that equalizer, you know, that powerful right hand and those combinations that will send anybody to sleep. But then again, he also said something that is very important, and those who are administering sports, not just boxing, in Nigeria, and people who high in position should know that you don't celebrate people when they've done the hard work. If we want champions, we need to start investing in them right now when nobody knows them. We don't wait for somebody to become a champion and trace his roots and know, oh, he's of Nigerian descent. Then we start trying to claim him when another country has done the work to raise that athlete to that level. So it's a story that is not too good, but we can do better. You know, Nigerians are springing up left, right, and center, and it also shows you that what is the missing link is the opportunity. We have to find a way to level the field. For them. Life is not fair, but you have to find a way of balancing it out so that these guys get the opportunity to use their God-given talent.
I agree. I mean, look, you've mentioned opportunity. Ben mentioned support from the top to the bottom, which is very, very important, because persons are in charge of boxing in Nigeria and they just don't care. They like the fact that they are called officials of boxing in Nigeria, and that's where it ends, you know, because you go back on the day when we had the Golden Gloves of Bisi Awakwa, Jerry Okududu, we had the Koye Guaches, we had the Andes brothers. You said it at every Olympics, when we're not looking at athletics, we're looking towards boxing to get a medal, isn't it? So you start wondering what's going on. We need to wake up. I think that's what we need to do. The ministry should go back and say, look, those days, sports where we used to do so well with back in the day, let's bring back those glory days. It is very, very important, because that's the only way we celebrate the legacies of all of those great boxers that we have produced in Nigeria. Yeah.
All right, so that's it. Also, we got to move on the show. And as it so happens today, we don't really have much time, so we've got to cramp a lot of things into what we're going to do in the next 15 minutes or thereabout. Also, we spent last week talking about the Budweiser Game of Kings. We talked about, we had a chat with John Terry, Roberto Carlos came into this country. They had that game. Nigerians had the opportunity to manage John Terry. Home-based professionals shared the pitch with John Terry and Roberto Carlos. And I was privileged to be at the Mobolaji Johnson Stadium to witness that game. And there's a lot to talk about, a lot of talking points. But let's enjoy. Let's enjoy a report put together on that game. We'll come to talk about the high points, then of course talk about the UEFA Champions League before we wrap things up on the show.
The much-anticipated Budweiser Game of Kings takes center stage at the Mobolaji Johnson Stadium in Lagos. Budweiser, sponsors of the English Premier League and Spanish La Liga, featured John Terry and Roberto Carlos in an exhibition game also involving home-based professionals. Excited football fans, journalists and dignitaries are in attendance to see the football legends. Smooth FC, led by Roberto Carlos, defeated Kings FC, led by John Terry, on penalties to emerge winners. International breweries, makers of Budweiser in Nigeria, seek to give millions of football lovers who double as lovers of the Budweiser brand a unique experience that will stay with them for a long time.
Budweiser has always had a passion for football, and we know that football is something that Nigerians are passionate about. What we wanted to achieve here today was to give a chance to consumers to be part of the whole football experience?
Well, we operate in Nigeria. I know Budweiser is a global brand. We operate in so many countries across the world. We are the biggest beer brand in the world. But at the same time, in every market that we operate, we try to give the best of ourselves to that market, irrespective of the fact that we're a big global brand. So we're choosing Nigeria because we operate in Nigeria. We launched Budweiser in Nigeria in 2018 with the World Cup. We've had massive acceptance, massive success, and we are so happy to give back to our consumers with this platform.
Budweiser receives praise for putting together the event.
As you all know, it's not easy being a manager. Though this is my first team being the manager, though, and I thank God for that, and I thank Budweiser for giving me this opportunity.
I think it's a wonderful one for me and also my colleagues. You can see the joy. You don't even got to know who won the cup because everybody is happy playing alongside with John Terry and Roberto Carlos.
Organizers insist that they are willing to continue providing the best of entertainment to football fans in appreciation of their patronage.
All right, so that's it. Smooth FC, led by Roberto Carlos, won 4-2 via penalties. Game ended. That was a memorable moment for me. I wasn't able to catch on camera, but I was anybody that saw that game. A $1 million block from John Terry. John Terry still has it.
I know. I mean, he said it that he wouldn't want to lose to Roberto Carlos's team that is coming out all out to win. If I have a chance to talk to him again, so I doesn't feel, losing their penalties. But if you look at John Terry, if you look at his physique and all of that, you could tell that, yeah, he still got it going in him. And even Roberto Carlos, though, added some weight, but look at the movement. Just when you look at these guys, you know that class is permanent here, and it was good to see them come all out to, entertain the fans, put up a good show of football. So kudos to Budweiser for putting this together. And I mean, beyond the football, administrators of football in Nigeria were there. I saw Amadou Pinnick, I saw Shehu Diko, and some other officials from the NFF. Let them have a look at what it takes to put together a good event so that you can attract, good sponsorship into it. So for Budweiser to bring a top name as Roberto Carlos and John Terry to Nigeria, it means if our football is doing so well also, more sponsorship will come into it and it will develop the game.
Yeah, I agree with you. A lot will be said about this day. It was a good day to see those football legends play, and like you said, some of them still has it. We need to move on the show. Hope that the football administrators in Nigeria are listening. There's a lot of potential in the country. Austin, let me allow you to take it from here. We have a few minutes left. A lot is happening in the UEFA Champions League. Benfica just scored against Barcelona. It just happened while we were speaking. And some other results, Chelsea, a goal up against Juventus. Let me allow you to take us through some of the things. 2 matches already concluded. Let me allow you to take us through some of the things that have happened so far.
Definitely, I'll talk about the one between Villarreal and Manchester United. That's a good way for Manchester United to bounce back, 2-0 win away from home. And so it's beginning to look like there's some bit of light at the end of, this tunnel for Manchester United, because this win puts them on top of the Group F table now, so they can breathe, because so much has happened to this club in the last, 2 to 3 months. So with Michael Carrick, this is a good way to start. I mean, just try to imagine if they didn't win this game, what we'll be talking about now. So shout out to Manchester United for showing some good character to win that one. There was also victory for Bayern Munich, those slim, but it was an away win. Very, very important also. And some other results in the UEFA Champions League, just bring that up again. And some games are still going on. Lille and Salzburg, goalless. Sevilla won, Wolfsburg 0. Chelsea and Juve 1-0 in favor of Chelsea. Malmo 1, Zenit St. Petersburg 0. It's the UEFA Champions League. You get to see this sort of results, particularly at this stage. But Chelsea, Juve, on a good day, that can also pass for a final in the UEFA Champions League. So
Definitely.
This group can produce this sort of, the draw can produce this sort of, pairings, and then you start wondering. But hey, we get to see, the big teams play, and that's for the joy of football and for fans followership also.
Yeah, just when Benfica thought they had gone ahead, that goal has been chopped off. And so I guess while we were talking about it being a goal, VAR was checking it, and VAR checked, and now it's back to goalless as it was before we thought the goal had been scored. So that's a correction. Thank you, guys. That's it on the screen. It's goalless at Camp Nou as we speak. And Bayern also defeated their opponents in the game played earlier, Dynamo Kiev. And the constant thing about Bayern Munich is that Robert Lewandowski will get on the goal sheets. That's the most constant thing about Bayern. All right, so let's move on and spend the few minutes that we have talking basketball. But if there's anything to report in the UEFA Champions League while we're still on air, we'll let you know. But also, let's quickly talk about the D Tigers and the draws for the qualification series into the FIBA Women's World Cup. And that's where you have Nigeria in Group B. The games will be played in Belgrade. And games will be played in Belgrade. We have France, China, Nigeria, and Mali. Good thing is that 3 teams will qualify from this group. You have 4 groups of 4 teams. In most of the groups, 3 teams will qualify, but in the groups that have Australia are the host, United States, the Olympic champions. In the group that has Australia and the United States, 2 teams will qualify. I'm very happy Nigeria is in this group, so 3 teams will qualify. At least if we can't beat everybody, we should be able to beat the Malians. I don't know if there's any consolation, but that's the way I see it. So Australia and USA, the teams that have already qualified. But this is a qualifying series for the matches that will be played between February 10 to 13 next year.
Very tricky group for the D Tigers, Yemi. And if you look at that group, you don't want to execute such qualifying game with some level of distraction that is going on now in the team. I think about 2 days ago, the team released another statement detailing the payments they have received from the ministry so far as regards monies and allowances that are being owed to the D Tigers. And they've said they've received part payment, but they're still being owed by the ministry and the Nigerian Basketball Federation. And let's not forget, these ladies, they were very clear. Said if they don't get the complete payment, they're not going to execute these qualifiers. And you see, this is what we're talking about. You know that this thing is coming up. This is not the sort of vibes we should be having before this competition. When did they talk about this money? It's about a month, or if not over a month now, and it is still not sorted. That's the distraction. I mean, we're already losing before we step into the court. And it's as big as the World Cup. Try and imagine the Super Eagles of Nigeria releasing a statement that they will not play the playoff for the World Cup if they are not paid money. That's what is happening. And we've seen a group now where we have France, we have China, we have Mali. And this is women's basketball where anything can happen. So take care of your business, take care of your problems, solve them, and so everybody can have the right mindset to compete. So just want to wish the country all the best, because I keep talking to the D Tigers and they're saying it is what it is. If they don't get their monies, if they're not sorted financially, that they will not execute these qualifiers. And I think they mean business with it here.
I think they do. I think they do. And it won't be wise for us to start shooting ourselves in the leg. Even though on paper, it looks like we should be able to pick one of those 3 spots, but nothing is guaranteed in sports. You have to go there and do your job. Let's hope that between now and February, when the matches will be played, we will have been able to sort ourselves out, put our ducks in a row, and do the things we need to do. If we don't do that,
I mean, it's very important to be ready psychologically. The game, 90% is mental. You might think February is far away. November is already gone. Let's say we're in December. They are supposed to be talking about how do we execute this mission, not calling to say we don't have our monies. They put out a statement that they're still being owed so and so amount of money. And somebody is just thinking that, oh, come on, they will. It's not good, you know. It's not good. It's about time we start doing the right things. It's about time we sit down and be united with purpose and have a clear vision of what we want to do with sports in Nigeria, because we have the talent. We're talking about the champions of Africa. The champions of Africa, back to back to back. They achieved the three-peat. Yeah, I mean, is this what you should be talking about for a team that achieves such?
No. And that's why we're going to go to the guys, because we can spend the minutes that we have talking about the girls. It's not a palatable situation, and we do hope that we sort ourselves out. But let's talk about the guys. And of course, they've been in similar situations where they didn't prepare well and they got stunned. And we're hoping that will not happen to them again. They've put out a roster for the qualifying series for the FIBA Men's Basketball World Cup. And you have their names on your screen. Let me reel out some of those names that you have. Vike Orogbo in that list, some of the usual suspects, Ben Uzo, Ike Diogu. These are some of the guys, and that's the preliminary roster for the D Tigers, and they will, in a few days' time, be playing. These are the home-based players that have been invited. Michael Okiki, one of the names in there. Julius Nwosu is the head coach of the team. And so from the 26th, Nigeria will be playing, and we'll see what happens. We're wishing the team all the best. And, you know, we will not be able to have some of the guys that went for the Olympics, but still a good squad. Yeah, so still a good squad, and hopefully they'll be able to. It's a long stretch, the qualifying phase, but hopefully we'll do what we need to do and seal our place at the FIBA Men's World Cup.
Yeah, I mean, I just hope that this team have learned their lessons, you know, particularly what happened at the Afro Basket, you know. Good to see, you know, Ike Diogu, Ben Uzo, and Ike Orogbo back in the team, you know. Some good experience in there, you know, for the D Tigers. There was nothing wrong with this team until administrative problems got into it, and they started suffering, you know, for it. So, yeah, I mean, it's the same story. Say I struggle to talk about basketball in Nigeria because everything rises and falls on leadership. If the leadership is not right, we're just wasting our time. And that's why everybody needs to come out and say, look, are we ready to do this or not? If you're not ready to do this, you step aside, because this is serious business. This is about representing a country. This is about playing with the careers of people which should not be happening. So now I'm just wondering, what are we talking about? The qualifiers here, and calling persons, and there's no peace and unity. We're talking about the administration of basketball in Nigeria. It's tough to do analysis like this here, man. It is.
Maybe that's why we're going to leave it at that for now, because we have to end the show before we get chased out of the studio. Well, that's a wrap today. Nothing has changed in the UEFA Champions League. We'll come back tomorrow to talk about it. That's been the show today. Hope you've enjoyed everything we've been able to bring to you from the city of Lagos, right here in Nigeria. I'm Emi Adebayo. Bye-bye now.
In London, I'm Austin Okonakwan. In everything you do, remember to keep talking sports. Bye for now.